Hi, I'm Dr. Allison Smith, and I'm a professor here at UMass Global. In this video, I'm going to talk about Cycle 2, CalTPA Cycle 2, Step 3, Reflect for our single subject candidates. So in this step, it's all about reflection. You've done steps 1 and 2, and so you've planned a series of lessons, a learning segment, 3 to 5 lessons. You've taught it. Now it's time to reflect. This is the natural process of effective teaching. And so you're capturing that here in the CalTPA to show that you can reflect on learning. So on the screen, you see the performance assessment guide. I've already to the Step 3 Reflect page. The assessment guide is available to you through registering with Pearson for Cycle 2, also in your clinical practice courses, as well as embedded throughout the program. So you have access to these. This document is extremely important. It tells you everything you need to know about what you need to do to be successful with the CalTPA. You can learn what the expectations are. You can even learn how they score it because the scoring rubrics are in this document as well. So I am focusing on explaining Step 3 Reflect in Cycle 2. In this step, you are analyzing the summative assessment data. And you are going, it's the same summative assessment that you provided in step 1 for part D. So you have to use the same one that you provided. You use it, and then you analyze those data and you provide actionable feedback. And the first thing you're going to submit is your focus student's assessment response and scored rubric. So this is part G. You had established who your focus student was, so you're going to look at their work, their actual work for the summative assessment. Uh, it should be the student's written or their a video of them doing a performance or whatever the summative assessment was. It's their actual work. And then you score a rubric. You should be scoring a rubric for every student for their summative assessment. You're going to include their scored rubric for part G. And here you can see there is the green call out boxes. These boxes are very useful. It basically gives you that added support on how to do what they're asking. So here it explains what you would do if you had a process-based student assessment or performance-based. This is something that's not like a written thing. There's not a tangible thing submitted. It is them doing something. In those cases, you would submit a video. And for the performance space, you could also do an audio. And it gives you an example, a video of a student reading a poem aloud. So it really depends on what your formal assessment is. It also addresses group work. You can do group work, but it has to be very clear that each student is assessed individually. So I recommend doing less group work around summative assessment just to make sure you don't accidentally have a group assessment. This would not be acceptable for the CalTPA. The next thing you're going to do is part H, which is the actionable feedback for that focus student. So first you submit their work and graded rubric. The next thing is you give them their actionable feedback. You can do this with a video or a written summary. So it gives you guidance on that. And then if you don't fully understand actionable feedback, it explains it, basically not saying good job or nice work. And then it gives you an example of actionable feedback. The next part for reflecting is a template that you'll fill out. It's a reflection and analysis of the summative assessment results. So you'll use the template and answer the prompts. For reflection, it's very important that you don't summarize what happened. So you're not providing a summary of how students did. You really need to reflect on what happened and how they did with the summative assessment. And in this video, this YouTube video is linked. And it really hones in on that difference between reflection and summary. So your writing wants to be, it needs to be reflective, not summarizing what happened. Also, when you're reflecting, you need to refer back to specific things in steps one and two. So you don't want to just state this is what happened or how it was. You want to provide evidence from the video clips or your writing about what you're stating. You're supporting what you say. In the template, you'll see there's a section on analyzing and reflecting on the group. So you're looking at your class as a group, as a whole, and then you are going to then analyze and reflect just on that focus student. So you're showing that you could look at the whole group and then a specific student. And remember, for this, it's just one class. If you're teaching multiple periods, it's just the one class you choose for the CalTPA. And you'll answer the prompts for reflecting on how they did on that formal assessment, the summative assessment, and then that's it for this step. You'll see there's three things that you need to submit. It summarizes it here in the assessment guide. The focus students' summative assessment response, the scored rubric, your actionable feedback, and that can be written or a video, and then a template reflecting reflection and analysis of summative assessment results up to 4 pages. And here is the rubric for reflecting. Now, when you're looking at the rubrics, this is how you're scored. Your assessor will go to level 3, make sure that everything is there in your work when they're looking at those three things you submitted for reflection. And they're going to want to make sure it's all there. If it's not, then they go down to a score of a 2 or a 1. If everything's there for a score of a 3, then they'll see if there's a level 4 and then a level 5. And so that's how they're going to score it. This tells you exactly what you need to make sure is in your writing. So it's worth spending a lot of time looking at this. It's just one rubric for this step. So you can easily look to see what needs to be in there. I encourage candidates to look at this before they start writing so they know what they need to do, and then write, and then after, look and do a self-assessment of your own work. Is everything very clear? If it's not clear to you, it certainly won't be clear to the assessor. So then you would know if you need to revise and strengthen some of your writing. Otherwise, it's a check that just to affirm that you are on the right track. So that's it for step 3, reflect for cycle 2 single subject candidates.